Don't act too close to me tonight. People here don't know I'm dating you. She ordered before her work awards gala, then moved my seat to the back table so she could sit up front and take photos like she was single. I left quietly. By the time I reached the parking garage, she'd left 5 voicemails, each one more frantic, sobbing that it was just for appearances and begging me to please answer the phone. I, 31, male, had been with Rachel, 29, for 18 months when she invited me to her company's annual awards gala. The invitation came with instructions I should have recognized as red flags. Don't act too close to me tonight. People here don't know I'm dating you. She said it casually, like she was reminding me to bring a jacket. When we arrived at the ballroom, I was wearing the suit she'd picked out. My name was on the seating chart next to hers at table 1, right up front near the stage. I saw it printed there. Rachel saw it too. Then she walked to the event coordinator and had my seat moved. Not to table 2, not to table 3, to table 12, in the back corner, near the kitchen doors. She sat up front with her colleagues, posed for photos, laughed into the cameras like she'd arrived alone. I watched from the shadows for 30 minutes. Then I stood up, walked through the ballroom, and left. No explanation. No goodbye. No scene. By the time I reached the parking garage, my phone was exploding. 5 voicemails in 8 minutes. Each one more frantic than the last. She was sobbing, saying it was just for appearances, that she needed to maintain her professional image. I listened to each message once. Then I deleted them all and drove home. If I wasn't good enough to stand beside her publicly, I wasn't staying beside her privately. Rachel and I started dating in March of the previous year. We met through a mutual friend at a weekend hiking group. She was sharp, confident, driven. She worked in corporate consulting, the kind of job where people wore expensive watches and talked about quarterly projections over brunch. I worked in logistics management. Good job, stable income, nothing flashy. For the first 6 months, everything felt normal. We went to dinners, spent weekends together, traveled twice. She introduced me to her close friends. I introduced her to mine. We talked about moving in together by the end of the year. But there was always a line she wouldn't cross. Her work life was separate, completely separate. She never invited me to office happy hours, never mentioned me to her colleagues. When I asked why, she'd smile and say, "Work is work. I keep it professional." I didn't push it. I figured everyone had boundaries. The first crack appeared in October. Her company was hosting a networking mixer at a rooftop bar downtown. She asked if I wanted to come. I said yes. 2 days before the event, she texted me. "Actually, maybe skip this one. It's mostly internal politics. You'd be bored." I let it go. A week later, I saw photos from the event on her Instagram. She'd posted them publicly. In every shot, she was standing close to a guy named Evan, her team lead, arms around shoulders, smiling wide. The captions were casual, but the optics weren't. When I brought it up, she laughed it off. "That's Evan. We work together. It's nothing." "You didn't want me there," I said. "Because you don't know anyone. It would have been awkward." I dropped it. But the discomfort stayed. In December, her company announced the annual gala. Black tie event, awards ceremony, dinner and speeches. She told me about it over coffee one Saturday morning. "It's formal," she said. "Like, really formal. Are you okay with that?" "I can do formal," I said. She nodded. "Good. Just don't expect it to be super social. It's a work thing. You want me to go, right?" "Of course," she said. "I want you there." But her tone didn't match her words. It sounded rehearsed. The gala was scheduled for January 18th. 2 weeks before the event, she started giving me rules. Don't talk too much. Don't drink too much. Don't make jokes unless you're sure they'll land. And the biggest one, don't act too close to me. People there don't know I'm dating anyone. I stared at her. "You've been with your company for 3 years. How do they not know?" "I keep my personal life private," she said. "It's just easier that way." "Easier for who?" She didn't answer. The week before the gala, Rachel's behavior shifted. She was anxious, checking her phone constantly, rehearsing her speech for the awards presentation. She was nominated for a team leadership award. It mattered to her, but she was also erasing me. On Monday, she asked me what I was planning to wear. I told her, black suit, white shirt, dark tie. Standard formal. "Do you have a navy suit?" she asked. "No." "What?" "Navy might be better. Less obvious." "Obvious how?" She hesitated. "Just less matchy with everyone else." I didn't own a navy suit, so she took me shopping. We went to a department store downtown. She picked out a suit that looked fine but felt off. Too plain. Too forgettable. When I tried it on, she nodded approvingly. Perfect, she said. You'll blend right in. Blend. That was the word she used. On Thursday, the seating chart went live on the event app. Table assignments were posted. I checked mine. Table 1. Seat 4. Right next to Rachel. I texted her. Looks like we're sitting together. She replied an hour later. I'll double-check that. Might need to shift a few people around for work reasons. Work reasons. Another phrase I was starting to hate. On Friday night, she came over to my apartment. We were supposed to watch a movie, but she spent most of the evening scrolling through her phone, liking posts, responding to messages. I asked her what she was working on. Just coordinating with people for tomorrow, she said. Coordinating what? Photos. Table arrangements. You know, event stuff. That night, she stayed over. In the morning, she was up early, hair done, makeup perfect. She was already dressed in her gown, a deep green number that probably cost more than my rent. She looked stunning. You look amazing, I said. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Thanks. You should start getting ready soon. We need to leave by 5. 5. The event starts at 7. I have to be there early. Photos. Prep. You can come with me, but you'll have to wait in the lobby for a bit. Wait in the lobby? Just while I do the pre-event stuff with my team. It won't be long. It was another small cut. Another reminder that I was adjacent to her life, not part of it. We arrived at the venue at 5:20 p.m. The hotel ballroom was massive, chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, round tables arranged in neat rows. Staff were still setting up, adjusting centerpieces, testing microphones. Rachel walked in like she owned the place. I followed a few steps behind. She stopped near the entrance, turned to me, and said the words that made everything click into place. Don't act too close to me tonight. People here don't know I'm dating you. I felt my chest tighten. What? Just keep it low-key. Professional. We're here for the event, not to make a statement. Rachel, I'm your boyfriend. I'm not a statement. She glanced around, checking if anyone was listening. I know. I just need tonight to go smoothly. Please. I didn't argue. I nodded. I followed her inside. The first thing I did was check the seating chart again. My name was still listed at table 1, seat 4, right next to hers. I pointed it out to her. I saw, she said. I'm going to fix that. Fix it how? You'll be more comfortable at a different table. Trust me. Before I could respond, she walked over to the event coordinator, a woman in a headset holding a clipboard. They spoke in low voices. I watched Rachel gesture toward the seating chart, then toward me, then back to the chart. The coordinator nodded, made a note, and walked away. Rachel returned, smiling. All set. All set for what? Your new seat. You're at table 12 now. It's closer to the bar. You'll have more space. Table 12. I didn't need to check the chart to know what that meant. Table 12 was in the back corner, near the kitchen doors, where the lights were dimmer and the speakers were quieter. It was where they put the +1s nobody wanted to explain. Rachel, I said quietly, why are you doing this? I'm not doing anything. I'm just making sure everyone's comfortable. I was comfortable at table 1. You don't know anyone at table 1. I know you. She looked at me, and for a second, I thought she might change her mind. But then she glanced over her shoulder, saw a few of her colleagues entering the ballroom, and her expression hardened. Just go with it, she said. Please. For me. I didn't say anything. I walked to table 12 and sat down. Update 1. The ballroom filled quickly. By 6:45 p.m., every table was packed. Table 1 was the loudest. Rachel sat in the center, surrounded by her team. Evan was on her right. Another colleague, a woman named Darcy, was on her left. They were laughing, clinking glasses, posing for photos. I watched from table 12. My table mates were polite but distant. A couple from accounting. A guy from IT who spent most of the evening on his phone. A woman who introduced herself as someone's sister. None of them knew Rachel. None of them knew why I was there. At 7:10 p.m., the program started. Speeches, awards, video montages. Rachel's category was announced at 7:35 p.m. She didn't win, but she was gracious, clapping politely, smiling for the camera. When the winner's name was called, she stood and applauded like it didn't bother her. But I saw the tightness in her jaw. After the awards, the event shifted into dinner service. Plates were brought out. Wine was poured. Conversations grew louder. Rachel never looked back at my table. Not once. At 8:05 p.m., I stood up. The couple from accounting glanced at me. Heading out? The woman asked. Yeah, I said. Early morning tomorrow. She nodded. Have a good night. I walked through the ballroom. Slow, steady steps. I passed table 6. Table 4. Table 2. I walked right past table 1. Rachel's back was to me. She was mid-conversation, laughing at something Evan said. I didn't stop. I didn't say goodbye. I kept walking until I reached the exit, pushed through the double doors, and stepped into the hallway. The silence was immediate. No music. No voices. Just the hum of the air conditioning. I took the elevator down to the parking garage. My hands were steady. My breathing was calm. I wasn't angry. I wasn't hurt. I was done. I reached my car at 8:12 p.m. I unlocked the door, sat in the driver's seat, and placed my phone in the cup holder. Then I started the engine. At 8:14 p.m., my phone buzzed. A call from Rachel. I didn't answer. At 8:15 p.m., it buzzed again. Another call. I let it ring. By 8:18 p.m., there were 5 missed calls. Then the voicemail started. I turned on the speaker and listened to the first one. Hey, where are you? Someone said you left? Call me back. Her voice was confused but controlled. The second voicemail came 30 seconds later. Seriously, where did you go? People are asking. Just call me. Please. Now there was an edge to her tone. The third voicemail was longer. Okay, I get it. You're upset. But can we please talk about this? I didn't mean for it to come off that way. Just come back. Please. I'll explain everything. Her voice cracked at the end. The fourth voicemail was pure panic. Please answer the phone. I'm sorry. I know I messed up. I just didn't want people to make assumptions. It wasn't about you. Please, just call me back. She was crying now. The fifth voicemail was barely coherent. I don't know what to do. Everyone's asking where you went. I told them you weren't feeling well, but I don't think they believe me. Please, just please answer. I need you to answer. I listened to all 5 messages. Then I deleted them. I put the car in reverse and drove home. Update 2. By the time I walked into my apartment, it was 8:50 p.m. My phone had 23 unread texts. All from Rachel. Where are you? Please call me. I'm freaking out. Everyone's asking questions. I told them you had a work emergency. Can you just text me back so I know you're okay? I'm leaving the event early. I can't focus. I'm coming to your place. I read through the messages once. Then I turned off my phone and went to bed. The next morning, I woke up to 46 messages. Rachel had escalated. She'd called my best friend, Dylan, asking if I was okay. She'd texted my sister, Claire, saying there was a misunderstanding and she needed to talk to me. She'd even messaged my coworker, someone she'd met once at a barbecue, asking if I'd shown up to work. At 10 a.m., she showed up at my apartment. I heard the knock. 3 sharp raps. Then her voice through the door. Please open up. I know you're in there. I just want to talk. I didn't answer. I'm not leaving until we talk, she said. I'll wait out here all day if I have to. I opened the door. She looked terrible. Makeup smudged. Hair pulled back. Same green gown from the night before, now wrinkled. Can I come in? She asked. No, I said. Her face crumpled. Please. I'm sorry. I know I messed up. I just didn't think it would be a big deal. You moved my seat to the back of the room, I said. You told me not to act close to you. You treated me like I was something to hide. I didn't mean it like that. Then how did you mean it? She hesitated. I just didn't want people at work to make assumptions. You know how office gossip is. If people knew I was dating someone, they'd start asking questions, making comments. It's easier if I keep that part of my life separate. Easier for you, I said. For both of us, she said quickly. You don't want to deal with that either, do you? People prying into our relationship, making judgments. I wouldn't have cared, I said. But you clearly did. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. Please, she said. Can we just talk about this inside? I don't want to do this in the hallway. There's nothing to talk about, I said. If you're embarrassed to be seen with me, then we're done. I'm not embarrassed, she said, voice rising. That's not what this was about. Then what was it about? She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. I don't know. I just panicked. I didn't want people at work to see me differently. See you differently how? Like I'm less focused, less professional, like I have other priorities. You mean like you have a life outside of work? She didn't answer. I'm not doing this anymore, I said. We're done. Wait, she said, grabbing my arm. Please don't do this. I love you. I just made a mistake. You made a choice, I said. And I'm making mine. I stepped back into my apartment and closed the door. She knocked again, called my name. begged me to open up. I didn't move. After 10 minutes, the knocking stopped. I heard her footsteps retreat down the hallway. Update 3. Over the next 3 days, Rachel tried everything. She sent flowers to my apartment. I left them in the hallway. She sent a handwritten letter. I didn't open it. She called Dylan again, asking him to talk some sense into me. Dylan told her to leave me alone. She posted a cryptic Instagram story. Sometimes you don't realize what you have until it's gone. Within an hour, 3 of her colleagues had commented asking if she was okay. She deleted the post 20 minutes later. On Wednesday, she showed up at my office. I worked in a logistics hub on the east side of town. She'd never visited before. Didn't know the building layout. Didn't know which floor I was on. The receptionist called up to my desk, said someone was asking for me. I told the receptionist to tell her I was in a meeting. The receptionist relayed the message. Rachel left. That evening, I got a call from an unknown number. I answered. "This is Evan," the voice said. "From Rachel's team." I almost hung up. "What do you want?" "I just wanted to say I didn't know," he said. "About the seating thing. She told us you weren't feeling well and had to leave early. I didn't know she'd moved your seat." "Why are you calling me?" "Because she's a mess," he said. "She's been distracted all week. Crying in the bathroom. Missing deadlines. I don't know what happened between you two, but I think she really cares about you." "Then she should have acted like it," I said. "Yeah," Evan said quietly. "You're probably right." He hung up. On Thursday, I received an email. The subject line was blank. The body of the email was a single sentence. "I'm sorry. I know that doesn't fix anything, but I needed to say it." I didn't reply. On Friday, Dylan called me. "She's asking mutual friends for advice," he said. "Trying to figure out how to fix things." "There's nothing to fix," I said. "I know," Dylan said. "But she doesn't seem to get that." "Then someone needs to tell her." "I think you already did." 2 weeks after the gala, I ran into one of Rachel's co-workers at a coffee shop downtown. Her name was Jenna. We'd met briefly at a party months earlier. She recognized me immediately. "Hey," she said, approaching my table. "You're Rachel's boyfriend, right?" "Was," I said. Her expression shifted. "Oh, I didn't know." "It's fine." She hesitated, then sat down across from me. "Can I ask what happened?" "She's been really off lately." I didn't know Jenna an explanation, but something about the way she asked made me answer honestly. "She moved my seat at the gala," I said. "Told me not to act close to her. Treated me like I was something to hide." Jenna's eyes widened. "She moved your seat?" "To table 12. In the back." Jenna's jaw dropped. "That's really messed up." "Yeah." She leaned back in her chair, processing. "I had no idea." "She told everyone you left because of a work emergency." "I left because I was done." Jenna nodded slowly. "I don't blame you." We sat in silence for a moment. Then Jenna spoke again. "She's been spiraling," she said. "Missing meetings. Snapping at people. She got passed over for a promotion last week. I think it's because she's been so checked out." "That's not my problem," I said. "I know," Jenna said. "But I think she knows she messed up. She's just too proud to admit it fully. Then she'll have to live with that." Jenna nodded. "Yeah, I guess she will." She stood up, gave me a small, sympathetic smile, and left. Over the following weeks, I heard more through the grapevine. Rachel had taken a leave of absence from work. Her Instagram went private. She stopped showing up to mutual friends' events. Evan mentioned to Dylan that she'd been seeing a therapist, trying to work on herself. I didn't reach out. I didn't check on her. I moved forward. 3 months after the gala, I went on a trip to Portland with Dylan. We spent the weekend hiking, eating at food trucks, exploring the city. On the last day, we stopped at a bookstore. I was browsing the travel section when I got a text from an unknown number. "I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but I wanted to say I'm sorry. Really sorry. I was wrong. I let my insecurities get in the way of something good. I hope you're doing well." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I deleted it without replying. That evening, Dylan and I sat on a rooftop bar overlooking the city. The sun was setting, the sky streaked with orange and pink. Dylan raised his glass. "To better choices," he said. I clinked my glass against his. "To better choices." I didn't think about Rachel. I didn't wonder what she was doing or who she was with. I thought about the version of myself who'd sat at table 12, alone in a crowded ballroom, and I was proud of the man who'd walked out. Some people spend their whole lives trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for them. I'd spent 18 months doing that with Rachel. But the moment I stood up and left, I reclaimed something I'd been giving away without realizing it: my dignity. I wasn't bitter. I wasn't angry. I was free. And that was worth more than any seat at table 1.